Howdy, we are Team Note Flood Zone, and our main focus in Nolanville is to deal with their environmental issues.
So just to elaborate a little more what Leo said, our mission is to make Nolanville a smart city and build its brand by enhancing streetscape design, incorporating community gardens with Monarch Waste Station, and mitigating flooding by taking an environmental approach.
Based on that, we're trying to mitigate flooding, promote walkability, and make the community more active, create an environmental connection with the people, create it like a healthy and active community, keep the small town identity, and also increase safety and connectivity of the community. So right here, we're explaining like a little phasing plan for the different streetscape and erosion plans that we have to improve the city, also with different ideas that all my teammates came up with, so that are going to be presented in the next few slides. So for the streetscapes, we are focusing on Mesquite Street, which is the community park street. So right here, we're trying to improve the layout of the whole street by giving more space for people, more space for people biking, and also increasing the ability to catch water from rain or for any flooding. So the idea of catching water comes with a water detention cell. The water detention cell is the way we can collect water and also reuse it for irrigation or any other home use that can be easily produced by these water detention cells. So also with the implementation of these ideas of mitigating flooding, we find the erosion control, which is the gabion buffer system. We were trying to avoid erosion in different areas of Nolanville. Also, this idea is going to improve the biodiversity of these little creeks, as we can see in the pictures.
So some of the ways to help mitigate flooding on these creeks, given that a lot of the creeks in Nolanville are lined with either concrete or rock, it was important that we pick out some plants that had shallow root systems and do thrive sometimes in that rocky area that's while still able to absorb a lot of moisture. So since the creek banks are coated in this, if there's any hope of stabilization through the use of plants to help mitigate flooding, then those plants need to be able to endure a lot of water and have very shallow root systems. These plants, portrayed on the screen, just a brief example, kind of, there are many more, are suggestions of what should be able to grow and help absorb floodwaters as necessary.
So this water catchment design is a rainwater collection system for the city court and police department buildings. The environmental benefits include the reduction of stormwater runoff, reuse of water for irrigation, plant beds, and increase the biodiversity and the vegetation, which will provide habitat and food for the wildlife like birds and pollinators. After calculating, the police department building can possibly collect over 149 gallons of water per year, and the court building can collect 114,000 gallons. So this showcase like this, placed in the hierarchy of these buildings, will show the world what Nolanville is aspiring to do regardless of the size or scale of the city. This will give the city of Nolanville its brand and will show leaders at every level how to become environmentally conscious. A design and system like this will make Nolanville a destination, and it will assist with Nolanville environmental issues, and it will also give the city economic prosperity. And these are a list of plants that have been taken into consideration for the city of Nolanville because of benefits to the environment, and including like pollinators and their ability to thrive in such conditions.
Oak wilt is a major problem in Nolanville, where the leaves on oak trees develop yellow veins that eventually turn brown. According to specialists, the symptom is called venal necrosis, Below are some pictures that show that oak wilt symptom.
We plan to automate oak wilt detection by making a mobile app that can recognize whether a leaf is healthy or not by utilizing machine learning by using image recognition. This will automate the process of detection. And also, the earlier the oak wilt is detected, the more preventive measures can be placed to prevent the spread and also call someone to come in and save the tree from dying.
So these are the areas we are focusing on the Monarch way stations. The areas in green are the areas in which community gardens and Monarch way stations will be present. And the ones in yellow are the areas we strategically pick to place the way stations in order to protect them from people that don't know how valuable they are to the monarch butterflies, while at the same time public enough for people to stop and see the monarch gardens. For the community gardens, we want to build off and improve the ones that already exist, which are in Nolanville Elementary and the Monarch Park. The Richard Cavazos Elementary location is a new community garden we are proposing, which we will show later in the presentation. For the strategic way stations, we are placing not only for the benefit of the monarch butterflies, but they can also benefit in other factors. Meaning that the way station in 10th Street and East Avenue would help with the gabion baffle system that was mentioned earlier in the presentation. And the City Hall way station would improve the aesthetics of the area. Not only that, but the one in the campground location would be part of the campground and another reason to visit.
So in all of these different Monarch way stations, these are going to be intentionally managed gardens that provide food and habitat for the monarch butterflies whenever they're migrating and laying their eggs. So the gardens are going to consist of a host plant, a variety of host plants, and a variety of nectar plants. The host plants are going to be the milkweed. This is what the monarchs are going to lay their eggs on. We're required to have 3 different species if we want our garden to be effective. Not all monarchs like one species of milkweed, and sometimes if it's not the right species, then they won't lay their eggs. So that way the garden wouldn't have any use. And then for nectar plants, that's going to be things like the dwarf butterfly bush and the Mexican sunflower. This is going to be the actual source of food for the monarch butterflies. So there's over 100 different species of milkweed. We're going to be choosing our species based on the ecoregion that Nolanville is in. And we have been looking at different ways to get milkweed plants because milkweed plants retail price are about $1,000 a piece. And so it can be expensive looking to make a large garden. We were looking at monarchwatch.org. And they are offering 32 milkweed plants in a pallet for free if we incorporate education into the gardens. And so one reason that we were trying to put them near the elementaries is that we could incorporate education with the gardens so the kids can come out, learn about the monarch butterflies while creating an effective way station. How we're going to do this is Nolanville needs to follow a few different regulations on how they use the garden and how they set it up, and also a size of land that they use over the entire city. We're going to go into a lot more detail in our final report, because there's a long list of regulations that Nolanville will have to file. But this could save Nolanville at a minimum $32,000 just in milkweed plants.
So just like Kevin mentioned, we're going to be proposing a new community garden, and this will be located behind the Richard Cavazos Elementary School, north side of Nolanville. The reason for for putting it here is because, of course, there was land available. The second was because the benefits it brings to the school. For example, the primary goal of this garden is to provide a learning environment to the kids and the community around it. Is to expose the students to a hands-on environment, environmental learning, enhance their curriculum by connecting the students to a natural world, provide students with opportunity to grow and eat the produce. Also build a school-based ecosystem where there was none. This will also offer the parents to engage with the school community, and this will make the school site more attractive as well. We decided to this design because we wanted a more organic looking garden instead of just doing garden plots. So that way the kids can take a nature walk in the therapeutic or pollinator gardens. They can have a class in the grass amphitheater. They can go to the vertical garden terrace or plant in the edible gardens. Right here is just the same master plan, just to give you a better perspective of where it is located. And here, same things, just zooming version of each of the parts of what the community garden entails.
Thank you for coming to our presentation.
Yeah, is that there we go. Yay.